Yes people, what is good? I am BA, back once again with another reaction in the Rome series. We have reached episode 6 and it is called Egeria or Egeria. I'm not exactly sure how it's pronounced, but yeah. I'm going to put my chips on the table and guess Egeria. Let's see if I'm right. Last episode was another one I absolutely loved. Every storyline they are following I'm invested in just now. Titus Pulo started training with Augustus and very quickly told him about the situation with Lucius. He didn't even need to mention Lucius's name, by the way. Augustus is that bright, he instantly knew who he was referring to, causing Titus and Augustus to kidnap this dude and interrogate him in some sewer at knife point while torturing him. And they finally got the truth out. And not only the fact that that guy had slept with Lucius's wife, but also that the child was his. And then Titus killed him, so I've just been wondering all week how he's going to handle this. Is he actually going to keep it to himself? I can't see him doing that. I think what he might do is confront Lucius's wife about it first and tell her she needs to tell Lucius the truth. Whether or not she will, I'm not sure. Also, side note, it's been in my mind for 5 episodes and only last episode did I realise, and I didn't want to say anything prematurely in case I was completely wrong, but I knew I'd seen Lucius's wife somewhere before, and I was like thinking, I know this actress's face. Where have I seen her? And I finally clocked last episode that she was Prince Oberyn's paramour in Game of Thrones. So yeah, she was Mando's wife, basically. Then there was that awkward shit with Caesar and his mistress. I think it's Sevilla? I'm not exactly sure what her name is yet, but you know, Brutus's mother. And he was telling her that because he was going to pursue Magnus south, that he was never going to see it again. And this caused her to show a side of herself that I never knew she had, in which she just went straight to the darkest of the dark witchcraft you can imagine. One of the most epic cuss speeches I have ever heard while damning Caesar and Attia. And then the episode ended with Caesar getting south only to realise that Magnus had fled for Greece. So I do not know what his play is going to be this episode, whether he gets boats and goes after him or just returns to the capital. No idea, but that was certainly unexpected and I can't wait to see where it goes from there. So without further ado, let's get into it. This is episode 6 of season 1 of Rome, Egeria, I hope. Let's check it out and see what it's saying to it. That shutter speed can be a bit weird on the eyes. I bet you Rome is responsible for more epileptic seizures than that one episode of Pokemon. But then Pokemon doesn't have dick graffiti, so you know, catch that, Pikachu. No way, Bruno Heller actually had a co-writer for this episode. What, was he sick that day? He seems like he's a very creative, controlling type of guy. He was probably looming over that writer's shoulder, breathing down onto his neck like, are you sure you want to make that sentence that? Because I'd lead with the, not they.
You and I might go away to Bayern. The next market day. It's supposed to be nice there.
He doesn't look as soldiery as normal for some reason. It's like his shoulders are hunched inwards. He's not got his usual body posture. It's making him look very unsoldier-like. It's good acting by the actor. Because, you know, before he looked uncomfortable outside of a uniform, now he's making himself look uncomfortable in one.
Wake up, Marc Antony's waiting.
Above and die, pig fucker.
Not really how you would traditionally address your commanding officer, but it's okay, it's Titus Pulo.
You shouldn't thank slaves.
No harm in it.
Bad for discipline.
Oh my god. So that's what I've been doing wrong in the sex dungeon.
Women, eh? Maybe she's what? I don't know.
So Titus is choosing not to tell Lucius. Kinda was worried he might do this. As good a friend as he is, he just knows it would destroy him, perhaps lead to deaths.
Mighty vice conqueror of Gaul, Mars and Bellona swell with pride at your doings.
I've never seen Marc Antony look more bored so far in this show.
Out! Cynthia, prepare.
Titus ain't even armed. No gladius, no uniform, just showed up to work in a tank top. Looks like he's just walked out of a Gold's Gym in the 80s.
Excuse all the bustle. I found Pompey's taste in decor rather dull.
Oh, has Marc Antony moved into Magnus Pompey's residence he used to have in Rome or something?
Pretend I'm not here.
Impossible. But I shall try.
Actually, yeah, I've just realised that's Magnus's wife. Did she not flee with him? He just ditched his missus, wow.
I shall be a good politician, even if it kills me. Or if it kills anyone else, for that matter.
You know what? Rome is so known for its snakery and treachery. I'm not even mad at Marc Antony for just throwing that comment out to the group there. Let them know what terms he's playing on.
The Senate will ratify Caesar's election as your co-consul for the coming year.
Not sure what that term meant.
1/3 of all those employed at labouring with cattle or in agriculture must be freedmen.
That's actually a really cool rule, reduction of slavery. Now, is this a play by Caesar to win over the people because he'll be introducing loads of new jobs to the public again?
Extreme, to say the least. Ruinous, even.
Imagine assuming the freeing of slaves would be ruinous.
That's it then.
I don't know what to say.
Say nothing then.
I love the way Marc Antony conducts himself. He's got a very threatening undertone. So this guy is going to be counsel. I'm assuming this is just Marc Antony making sure that him and Caesar have some inside men in the Senate. Maybe I'm way off. If I'm way off, just let me know in the comments. There's no way I can be Pompey off, okay? So I'm fine. I've done the dumbest shit ever already. I can't top it.
He negotiates with a whore and a dwarf at his side. Do you think Cincinnatus or Marius or even the Gracchi would demean themselves so?
I don't know if they're filming these actors differently, but again, I never noticed such a big height difference between the two until this episode. Again, making Lucius seem like a demeaned soldier, smaller than usual. Maybe this is just all shit like I'm thinking I'm picking up that isn't even there, but this is the way I'm interpreting the way he's being shown this episode. You just never know until the person actually making the art tells you if your interpretation's right or not. You can see like 3-hour video essays of people explaining David Lynch's Mulholland Drive, and if David Lynch ever finally talks about it, he'll be like, no, I wrote it from the perspective of if cheesies had thoughts. And then your 3-hour documentary won't mean shit regardless of how clever it was.
But then they don't look so good. It'd be a shame to mark up a beauty like her.
What's fucked up is, I guarantee in history, probably somewhere in the world to this day, there has been like slave masters sitting round a table joking about, you know, how shittily they treat their slaves.
I'd rather die than leave her.
Lucius has turned into quite the cuck over the last few episodes. Not to say I liked dickhead Lucius better, but you know, there's surely a middle ground.
Figures and the arguments I have here marshalled could resist their overwhelming conclusion.
Marc Antony might as well be handing him the script. Shows a good inside man for the Senate. He's very well spoken. He's got good voice projection and crowd control.
Does anyone wish to speak against the motion?
No, Emperor Sidious, we do not.
No division required. Motion carried.
Well, you guys heard the two pieces of sandpaper getting rubbed together. Motion carried.
So, lady, I was asking around, you know, about your man there, Evander.
Asking around?
Oh, I'm liking the way Titus is playing this. I did speculate he was going to bring it up with the wife first, but he's doing it even smarter and playing it from the perspective he doesn't know. And he's talking to his wife about it, rather than Lucius's wife.
I'm sorry to say it, but it looks like he's not coming home. Dead, it looks like.
That was so clever of Titus. As he told that woman that her husband was dead, he looked up to see the reaction of Lucius's wife.
Best she gets on with her life. Best she looks to the people that love her.
Again, so well written. He's having that conversation with that woman, but he's really giving that advice to Lucius's wife. Niobe, was it?
I'm away. Need a drop of wine to set me up for the day.
Yeah, not gonna lie, for a man of the crudeness of Titus Pullo, that was such a cleverly handled situation. I would be surprised if Augustus did not advise him to do that to the letter. Or maybe he's actually starting to learn a bit of savviness from Augustus.
You weren't sorry when you were fucking him, were you? You weren't sorry then. I piss on your sorrow. Well, not you.
This is fucking rough. As if Niobe's still friends with a woman whose husband she stole as well.
I had given him a child. Is that it? I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
This is stressfully tense, man. I don't like watching shit like this. I'll leave the room when drama like this is happening in real life. I don't like my stress levels being fucked with like this. Sometime this has to come to a boiling point. That was an alright little duck by Augustus. He's learning a thing or two. Attia is so proud. Her son is learning to kill. Yo, do you think Titus gave him that lead leg there to see if he would exploit it, or do you think he genuinely was smart enough to exploit the lead leg being open? He's got the mind of a kickboxer, that boy.
He's quite a little man now.
I should think there's more to manhood than swordplay.
Titus is like, oh no, the fucking isn't.
Titus Puller, didn't I tell you to sort that out?
Oh
Sorry,
my
Mum.
god.
I'll see to it.
Titus, did I not instruct you to get my son a whore? That's a bit harsh, giving her so little considering she's got her tits out.
Husband.
What's all this?
Oh, has she actually, for the single first time he's came home, made an effort? That's cool. I mean, she could have done this before the other guy died to, you know, actually show she was trying to do what she was claiming, but now he's dead, at least she's making a little effort. And it's the least she can do, because this is the first episode where she is seen to be making any sort of effort for him, and for the last couple of episodes, he's been going out of the way to make an effort for her. So when it's reciprocated like this, I see no reason why they won't have a good relationship. It's just a shame that all the facts are not laid bare, because that is a terrible thing to have waiting to come tumbling down on you. I'm not gonna lie, yeah, I wasn't judging Niobe too much earlier because it was like, you know, he was away for 8 years, they don't know if they're coming back, they're probably fucking Gaul women, and she's at home, doesn't know if he's coming back, you know, I can sympathise, but it makes me think she's a bit of a fucking skis, that she fucked her friend's man. That is the thing that's like proper low down and dirty. Even if you logicise the 8-year thing, the fact she chose to fuck her friend's man makes me think, like, one way or the other, she is a little bit of a one to watch out for. Man, gods have always been so greedy, haven't they? Whether it's offerings of food, or gems, or human heads, or change in a collection plate, these gods always want more of what you've got. Give me some. You eating some food? Put some in my clay hand, you starving fuck. I wonder if the phrase "while you're down there" had been invented yet. Ah yes, the sideways missionary, i.e. the one that you only ever see in the movies. Was that a metaphorical sex position showing that they are now in a 50-50 partnership? You know, no one was taking a dominant position? Again, am I overanalyzing things? Maybe they just like fucking sideways. Hi folks, sorry to interrupt, but just real quick, if the next card I pick up is the Ace of Spades, you will join my Patreon group, right? Ha! Join the fucking gang. Can your favourite reactor do that? No.
I thought this was his usual obtuseness, but the old man has some sense left in him yet.
So he is straight up running because he knows he was going to get his ass handed to him.
Now the cat barks at the dog, and Pompey is chasing me.
How many men did Caesar bring with him? Like, if they were both to rally all troops they could possibly control, who would have more?
I ask you to bring the 13th here as speedily as you are able.
The 13th? Is that the legion that Marc Antony controls? Or is that the one that Lucius has just been promoted in?
No, wait. I must think on this.
Now, I know Marc Antony's got Caesar's back, but this seems like it is a matter of hasty decision making. Why is he dwelling? What decision is he unsure about? We need backup isn't really that interpretable or needing ponderance over.
Surely we should be more prudent.
Don't worry about a thing, my dear. I'm thinking ahead.
Atia just lives an absolute baller lifestyle every single day, doesn't she? I'm sure there are wealthier families, but she seems to be like the wealthiest person we are following. I'm sure Caesar's actually wealthier, but you know, lifestyle-wise.
Mother. You will penetrate someone today, or I will burn your wretched books in the yard.
This woman's mind is so unique. You will have sex and I will destroy your ability to learn.
There's nothing to it.
If there's nothing to it, why such a fuss made of the thing?
This actor's doing a really good job of like a guy who's usually pretty in control and stoic in life, genuinely looking quite nervous.
This isn't no infantry fuckhole, thank you very much.
We've come for the young master here.
Excuse me, of course.
Her tone changed quick, didn't it?
Simple.
A little bit skinny.
Titus has assumed the role of whore picker. He knows what he's doing, he'll pick a good one.
Let's have a look at a couple
This one
more.
is perfectly adequate.
You will be utterly satisfied, I assure you.
He does not look happy. Is it just because he doesn't want to be doing this in general, or is there some other reason? Because he's like the only man his age in human history that would be on a downer in this situation.
He hopes you find his house satisfactory. It'll do.
Again, low-key throwing shade at Magnus's house.
He will give you your life, the province, money enough to preserve your dignity.
There's no way Marc Antony's gonna double-cross Caesar.
Return tomorrow. I'll give Pompey's answer then.
Is he really gonna consider this, rather than sending Caesar reinforcements? No way he does this.
Dismissed.
I know Lucius didn't like hearing Marc Antony saying that shit.
Take clothes down?
That's an interesting accent.
No understand.
They're probably her two go-to sentences.
Don't take me very young. Kill mother, father, brother.
So she's just like, I suppose, what a load of Gaul women will be in 10 years' time. Just acquired resources for the Empire.
Seeing as I'm with the quality.
Not a chance.
It was worth asking, Titus.
Oh, come on, fight, damn you!
Marc Antony is coming across as quite unhinged in this episode. Oh shit, did she cut her in the stomach? Thank fuck it is a scratch. I thought for a second she just took her guts out.
Where is he? Where can he be?
Busy man. Politics.
Politics. He promised he would come.
Atia is getting stood up repeatedly in this first season. She needs to stop inviting people to her house. It must smell or something. Have you guys been to Atia's house? Yeah, I went last weekend. I don't want... Did you guys smell bull blood? Yes! Why was she getting them to quickly take her makeup off like that?
I confess I'd quite forgotten you were coming, so this is a lovely surprise.
Oh, she's just downplaying the fact she had all the shit set up for him. Well, that's one way to save face. I don't even blame her at this point. Caesar's done it to her already. She must be feeling quite down about herself. Understandably, because she's an evil witch-like woman, but still, even witches deserve happiness. Speaking of witches, we haven't seen Brutus's mum this episode yet. I wonder how the cross is coming.
Here he is, young Apollo.
How was it?
It was pleasant.
Why is his facial expression so stoic still? The one thing Titus Pullo could actually do with teaching Augustus is to how to start fucking enjoying life.
Tell me.
Yeah, this Marc Antony shit is playing on Lucius's mind.
I have sworn loyalty to a man of no honour.
Lucius, being the guy that he is, was always going to think like this. I genuinely don't think Marc Antony's going to do it though. I've got a feeling that Marc Antony is playing some sort of psychological mind game right now to see how people respond to certain things. Or maybe make Magnus feel like he's strong when he's actually weak. I could be wrong. I don't know any history about Marc Antony. He could be a famous traitor to Caesar for all I know. But my guess is that he's not doing what it seems like he's doing. He seems to be smarter than that. Yes, he was annoyed Caesar didn't initially ask him to come along when he went to chase Magnus, but I do not think that would be reason enough for him to double cross him, and he seemed to be very loyal to Caesar.
You've become a powerful man. The people love you.
Maybe he really is just not sure what to do. I swear he's using this position to assess others' opinions. But maybe it is just surface level as it seems, and he's just a conflicted guy when it comes to his loyalty for Caesar. Atia must be alright in the sack. Marc Antony just left the room with two women in knight's armour, and he still seems like he's looking forward to it. Much respect to all those slaves and servants throughout history that have had to stand in a corner watching rich people fuck.
If Caesar is defeated, I can't very well form an alliance with the Pompeians.
Fucking snake. Even Caesar's niece is thinking ahead to his defeat.
You'll be very well situated. You have the people with you. You have possession of the city.
And now she's trying to encourage him not to join Caesar. If he is playing a game with everyone, he just got a lot of information from Atia.
I had not realized until now what a wicked old harpy you really are.
I fucking knew it! Yes, Marc Antony, you absolute legend! Oh, wow. I could have been so wrong thinking like that, and I'm so happy. Not because I was right am I happy, but I'm so happy that that's what he's actually doing. Not only that, he made sure he got pussy first before having that conversation, so you know, that's a double win. And I'm guessing when Pompey's guy comes back tomorrow, Marc Antony's just going to execute him. Of course they say don't shoot the messenger, but sometimes shooting the messenger is a message. Absolutely no sympathy. She is, as described, an absolutely wicked harpy of a woman. If she wasn't such a loathsome bitch, she wouldn't be crying right now. She is such a fucking saucy Lannister, self-apologist, feeling sorry for herself while being an evil twat.
Excellency Marc Antony orders 13th Legion to muster on the field of Mars.
Why, where are we going?
Greece.
Course Marc Antony was always going to Greece. I'm so proud of Marc Antony just now. I was about to start hating his character. I thought he seemed like he was a smart guy and he'd be using that as some sort of strategic play and not just a snake. Makes his character so much more likeable because it shows his loyalty to Caesar but also his cunning.
Excuse me. I'd forgot you.
Not quite shooting the messenger, but that was definitely in the same ballpark. Alright, fucking dressed up semi. You better reward me with full frontal spread vagina if that's the level of male penis we're getting in this show.
When Caesar and his dog Antony are defeated.
If they are defeated.
When they are defeated.
Oh, she's throwing a hat in the ring with Team Magnus now. I guess she was always going to have to take that stance after Marc Antony just exposed her like that.
You will go to Mediolanum. Timon will take you.
Mediolanum?
They have a very good academy there.
I don't understand.
She's sending him to university. What, so is Augustus just not going to be in the show anymore? That's a shame, I liked his character.
Your mother's too kind.
Does this penis have its own fucking credit at the end of this episode? It looks like it's being played by Danny DeVito.
You are blameless. I know that.
That's good she said that.
Tell your mother that I'm grateful for the gifts and that I treasure her friendship.
She's playing it low key, keeping her cost to herself, as I'm assuming you would do. Is there anyone out there that publicises the costs they're putting on people? At that point you're just like a TikTok witch. I wonder if the baby's crying because it's not actually in its mother's arms. There seemed to actually be a slight minute bit of genuine passion there. There is hope for this couple yet. Man, poor Augustus has been thrown through the gauntlet this episode just as a kid who was like comfortable in his confines and then all of a sudden she's forcing him to lose his virginity and then sending him away to a university away from his family for the first time in his life. It was just the jarring suddenness of it that's completely understandable. He's so shocked. I didn't realise the 13th was that big. That is a badass legion that Caesar has just brought in. That thing is the dopest calendar of all time. Jesus Christ, Caesar, you could have ordered them to travel across the sea after the storm if you actually want your legion to arrive on land.
To Triton!
If Triton can't keep me drier than this, he can suck my cock!
Titus Pulo, ever the philosopher. Okay, and that was episode 6 of season 1 of Rome, Egeria, and I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. So, Egeria, what did I think of that? Again, another incredible episode. I was so curious as to how Titus Pulo was going to play this information he knew about Niobe, and I had a suspicion that he was not going to bring it up directly with Lucius, but bring it up with Niobe. He didn't do that. He did one smarter, which is bring it up with the wife of the killed guy Niobe was cheating with in front of Niobe. And while he was talking to the wife of the dead guy, he was actually giving the information he wanted to Niobe. And she actually took it in, genuinely made an effort with Lucius this episode, actually seemed passionate to kiss him when he was leaving. I mean, it's definitely an improvement. All you can ever hope for people in life is that they end up happy. So if these two can in some way salvage this relationship and have a happy life, I'm not mad at it. I'm not even mad at it even if the secret never comes out. But again, there is that secret that just hangs over this, so no matter how happy they seem, it's hard for us as the viewers to get comfortable with it, because we know at any moment this time bomb could just fucking explode and ruin everything. And then Atia tasked Titus with taking Augustus to the brothel and losing his virginity. Augustus was so uncomfortable and did not want to do it, but he went through with it anyway. He said it was pleasant, so you know, I suppose that's better than saying it was horrible, but he didn't look relaxed nor happy afterwards, which is, you know, the traditional things associated with a post-sex appearance. And then on top of that, Atia instantly sends him to university. Now, of course, it wasn't just as ruthless as she was going to do that anyway. I genuinely have a feeling that she only did that because of the conversation she had with Marc Antony and the way that went, and she instantly knew that now her and all her people were in danger, so she got Augustus the fuck out of the city pronto. That's the way I read her actions anyway. But regardless, I hope that's not Augustus written out of the show, because he's actually one of the most intelligent characters in the entire thing. It's a unique way to write a child character in a drama like this, to be honest. And the pound for pound absolute champion of this episode is of course Marc Antony. It started so simply with Caesar sending a letter to request aid. Now, I don't know if Marc Antony's thoughts were at that time to just mislead Magnus for a day, or to maybe even test Lucius, who was the other person in the room. Regardless, this is when what we learned later to be a charade by him began, and he acted like he was indecisive on what he was going to do next. Now, the only reason he would have done that in that room at that time was to mislead the messenger sent by Magnus or to test Lucius, but then we saw him travel that information around to several people, gauging their responses. And from the start, I had this feeling like, why would he do this? I know he was annoyed when Caesar said that he couldn't go south, but surely that's not a reason enough to want to stab him in the back, especially the way he's been portrayed thus far. So I was like, what is he doing? He must be doing something else. And it was revealed absolutely gloriously, because they waited until he brought this information to Atia and she let her mask slip and showed her true snake side and just spewed out a bunch of strategical anti-Caesar political maneuverability to him, and he instantly knew what sort of person he was dealing with, let her know to her face how badly she fucked up, and then once he'd canvassed the people he was suspicious about with this information, he instantly got the 13th and marched south to help Caesar. What an absolute legend. I instantly love the Marc Antony character. I already liked him up to this point, but this shit just puts him in a whole different ballpark of legendary for me. That was so beautifully done, the way he played all these people throughout this episode like an absolute fiddle, extracting the maximum amount of true information from each of them before doing what he was always going to do anyway. Beautiful and beautifully written. I do not know if this was a strategy Marc Antony used in real life or if this was just a plot written for this show. Whichever person did it though is a fucking genius. And I just gotta say, I can't believe how much I'm enjoying this show. Like I said, I've reacted to nothing but classics on this channel, and before I started this channel, I thought I'd seen all the best ones. You know, Sopranos, Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, all these things I'd already seen. And when people showed me The Wire, I was shocked that it was up there with those. And then when people showed me True Detective, I was shocked when season 1 was up there with those. And then when people showed me Deadwood, do you know what I mean? I'm just constantly surprised at the quality I get to watch on this channel. So for me to be saying that so far this is up there with anything else I've ever experienced, like my favourite shows of all time, this is right up there with absolutely anything else I've ever watched. And I can't remember something that's pulled me in after so few episodes so quickly, and that is just a testament to how good each episode is. And it's really an education for people who want to write TV series, if you ask me. If I was going to write my own TV series, I would study how plot points are dramatically paced by Bruno Heller, because this shit is incredible, and I'm talking about because of the layers of plot points. He sets up long-term story arcs, but the short-term arcs in each episode just create drama consistently to the point where there never seems to be a down period in it. It's just like every episode's dope because either you're getting to see an interesting small story arc which is going to conclude that episode, or you're going to end up seeing one of the concluding longer story arcs that they've maybe set up to be a 3-episode story arc or a 6-episode story arc, and to layer your arcs in that way where each episode has got you completely invested but also you're always looking forward to the next one, to me seems like the absolute perfect way any television series should be written. So yeah, if you're a writer out there and you're thinking long form television shows, or even to make your novels more interesting chapter by chapter, I would study the way Bruno Heller has written this show. And clearly, by me just giving it that praise, I cannot wait to see what happens next week. If you've liked this video, click like, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this, ring the bell to be notified as to when they drop. If there's anything you want to talk about, comment down below, and share this around to anyone you think might appreciate it or want to watch these reactions along with us. My Patreon link is down in the description. If you become a patron, you get access to my blog, you get access to these reactions I put on YouTube a month and a half in advance, and you also get access to full-length versions of everything I react to. So consider becoming a patron, it helps me and my channel out so much, and until next time, I have been BA, peace.